Welcome to the Dinosaur Garden at the Oxfordshire Museum. I'm standing here with a Megliasaur. Let's dive round and see what else we can find. Surrounding me in this garden are loads of different plants and trees that would have been around at the time our Megliasaur was alive. Over this side I've got a monkey puzzle tree. This one's only about 2 metres tall. However, it could have been up to 40 metres in height and 2 metres wide. That's massive. Over this side here, we've got a tree called maidenhair. Maidenhair was thought to be extinct and not exist anymore. However, it was rediscovered in China, and that's how we've managed to have one here in our garden today. Pretty impressive, right? All around me, we've got this. This is called Horsetail, and it's actually thought to be a weed. People don't like it. They'll rip it up and get rid of it. However, it's a favourite with our herbivore dinosaurs. They're the dinosaurs that eat plants. They'd have taken a bit off and they'd have chewed it up with their teeth and ground it up with the stones that they've got in their belly. However, our Megliasaur wouldn't have eaten this because he's a carnivore. He likes to eat meat. Let's see what else we've got in the garden. Now, we've got footprints in the garden. Some of these footprints are replica, so they're not the real thing, they've been man-made. We have 3 of them in the dinosaur garden. You can stand in them and see how big your footprint is compared to a dinosaur's, and also see how many of your steps it takes between each footprint, as these are spread out how far a dinosaur's stride would have been. There's also something else in this garden. Come on. Now, here in the dinosaur garden, we have some real Megliasaur footprints. These were found in 1997 at Ardley Quarry in Oxfordshire. When they were discovered, people were amazed, and the scientists were excited because they can tell quite a lot from these footprints. They can tell what dinosaur it was, how heavy it was, if it was running or walking, and the direction that it was travelling. They can also tell how the dinosaur walked, whether it walked heel, then its toe, or whether it walked toe and then heel. This is pretty amazing. Let's see what else we can find. I bet you're wondering how these dinosaur footprints actually were formed. They were formed through a process called fossilization. Fossilization happens when the dinosaurs hundreds and thousands of years ago were walking across a mud plain. As they walked, they left their footprints behind them. Over time, the footprints dried out from the sun and they were there. Then it might have rained, or sea came, or a river, and water brought to the footprints a thing called sediment. Sediment can be tiny stones, bits of mud, bits of gravel, bits of tree bark or tree leaves, and they filled the footprints up. As the footprints filled up over time, the whole area got covered with this sediment, and there was pressure from the amount on top onto the footprints. Over time, the footprints turned into limestone. And then, as the quarry was being dug, they discovered these footprints and were shocked. They got some scientists from the University of Oxford Museum of Natural History. And when these scientists came out, they were amazed at the footprints, and they decided they should be taken and preserved and kept. Now that's quite hard when you've just got a footprint in solid rock. So what they did was they got a drill and they drilled a square around the footprints. These squares were then lifted up and we had a footprint in a block of stone. Pretty amazing. They were then taken off and looked at and studied, and we have 4 of them here in the museum with us today.